Hello West Croydon Baptist Church, I'm Ruth from CSW and I'm here to tell you thank you. So I'm coming to you from my home office here in a very lovely and spring-like Edinburgh. The pandemic may keep us at a distance, but thanks to technology, it doesn't stop me from being able to send a personal thank you from CSW and from the people we advocate for, those who are persecuted for their faith or belief. As you know, CSW is a Christian organisation that stands up for religious freedom. We believe that no one should suffer for their faith. We believe that everyone should be free to believe. I think we can all agree this past year has been a challenging time, and that is putting it lightly. This pandemic has put religious communities at even greater risk. The needs are greater than ever. But you've made it possible for us to continue to be a voice of justice and freedom despite the challenges. This year, your church chose to support persecuted believers financially through the work of CSW, a gift we are so thankful for, especially during the pandemic. So as we deal with the impact of COVID-19 on our lives, I think it's important that you hear some of the good news and developments of our work. This is where gifts like yours can continue to help us to bring freedom and justice to communities around the world. Here is just some of the headlines. Early last year in Cuba, pastors Adia Exposito Leva and her husband Ramon were released from prison. They were imprisoned for removing their children from the state-run school system due to teacher-led bullying because of their parents' faith. Last September, Pastor Adao was released until after more than 4 years in prison in Vietnam. Do you know, he was not expected to be released until August this year. And in Mexico, the National Supreme Court of Justice ruled in favour of a group of Jehovah's Witnesses who had been forced out of their homes because of their beliefs. Your gifts play a part in highlighting the injustices people face because of their religious beliefs and challenging those in power to ensure that everyone can practice a religion or belief of their choice. Before I go, I would love to take a few more moments of your time to share in a little more detail of two encouraging developments. First up, I'd love to update you on some progress we are seeing with our latest campaign, Sorry China, I'm Not Buying It. Between 1 and 3 million Uyghurs, Kazakhs and members of other predominantly Muslim ethnic groups have been placed in re-education camps in China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Many of those released are sent to clothing factories that supply Chinese and Western brands. Do you know, the entire clothing industry is potentially tainted by forced Uyghur labour, and credible reports have implicated dozens of brands, including Zara. Until recently, British love brand Marks & Spencer's was also potentially complicit in buying tainted cotton. However, CSW encouraged its supporters to write to M&S's CEO Stephen Rowe, asking the brand to commit to not buying cotton from this region and to signing the coalition to end Uyghurs' forced labour brand commitment to exit the Uyghur region. Along with the advocacy of many other organisations targeting M&S, I'm glad to announce that Marks & Spencer's recently signed their brand commitment and has now made this known publicly. As a follow-up, please do consider getting in touch with M&S to say thank you and join us in our efforts to encourage Zara to do the same. And finally, as I've said already, your gift enables us to speak to those with power to bring about change. For over 40 years, we have used our voice to encourage freedom of religion or belief at the UN, the UK and US governments, and the European Union. With the challenges posed by the pandemic and Brexit, it's not easy to make sure freedom of religion or belief stays on the government's agenda. But thanks to you raising the issue with your MP and your gifts, we can make sure it doesn't get sidelined. Thanks to MP David Linden in February this year, our founder President Mervyn Thomas met with the Prime Minister as agreed by a question asked in PMQs pre-pandemic. Mervyn was able to discuss freedom of religion or belief and religious minorities in India with the PM, and in which he committed to raising this with Prime Minister Modi when he visits later in the year. We give thanks for these breakthroughs. As you know, these don't happen overnight. It often takes years of meticulously recording freedom of religion or belief violations and resolutely raising cases at the United Nations year after year. Every victory in our work is hard fought and hard won. Every victory is possible because of your support. So thank you. As we collectively stand with those facing injustice because of their beliefs, whether you have campaigned, prayed, given financially, sent cards, connected us with your church, or fundraised from home, thank you. We couldn't have done this without you.